Alright, what's up guys? It is finally time. My huge tornado siren video I've been talking about. For this huge tornado siren video, I decided to make 11 different slideshows. And on each slideshow is the picture of the siren and some and history behind sirens. Some sirens have more history. I wrote some lists, I copied and pasted. I went ahead and pasted. So let's get into the first siren because I can only record for 30 minutes on Clipchat. Federal Siren 2001 Tornado Siren. Here's the picture right here. Here's the siren. Let me look at that. The 2001 series is a warning siren intended as a successor to the Thunderbolt series. The 2001 is a common siren being used in many cities and towns today. The 2001 was first introduced as the 2001 DC Roundback, produced from 1988 to 1990. It used the same rotator but assembly as the Thunderbolt. It earned the Roundback nickname due to its detective chopper housing. 1990 to 1995, these models use the same rotors as Thunderbolts but with a different motor. The main difference is that the chopper housing is square shaped. The 2001 SRN produced from 1998 to 2002 is one of the more common mo- mods in service today. Sorry guys. It was a small federal signal on the center cone and a longer horn. The rotator assembled it shared with the Thunderbolt, this being the last model to use the rotator. Next comes the 2001 SRNB, made through 2003 to 2006. This was the first of the 2001 series to use a rotator not shared with the Thunderbolt. It was a gear-driven system, unlike the order belt-driven unit. Otherwise, it largely didn't go to the 2001 SRN. Most of the 2001 SRNB made the big Federal Signal logo on its nose. And here's the picture of the siren. This is my first sideshow siren that I did. Took me a couple of weeks. And for the next one, we have one of my favorite sirens, as you guys know, I don't know, is the ACA Cinecone 125. I don't know what that slash line's doing here. Here's a picture of the ACA Cinecone siren. ACA Cinecone 125 siren. I wrote all this. The ACA Cinecone 125 was an electric magnetic omnidirectional outdoor warning siren produced from 1968 to 2007. The siren was designed by James E. Burgess. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The siren also has a 40 HP motor, a 50 HP motor, the 125, but the first ACA siren was the 120, one of the rarest sirens to this day. I think I wrote that. I'm sure it's on there. I'm not sure. This is about there is about 120 ACA Cinecones. I think about that. I'm not sure. I just by looking at the map, there's rarely any. 125. There's not much towns that have them anymore, though. That's true. I think I spelled the wrong, y'all. I sometimes spell it like that. I don't know why. Okay, now we have the ACA Hurricane siren. I copy pasted all of this one. The ACA Hurricane 130 was designed by James, the same person who designed the Cinecone. I think he's the designer of ACA sirens. Awarding Communicators of America presented a civil defense conversion in November of 1968. They introduced other sirens, however. The unit has now fabricating technology never been used before by any other company. It's available on dual tone 810, 1012, 812 port, or single tone 810 or 12 port converter. But most models were equipped with an 810 chopper port ratio similar to the major third. It was meant to compete with Federal Signal Thunderbolt siren series at the time. The Hurricane started off with a square horn similar to the Federal Signal Thunderbolt. Like here's the picture right here, where the mouse is. But ended with two throats where the horn attached to the chopper enclosure. Additionally, the Hurricane siren was a supercharged magnetic siren utilizing a blower and a high input chopper similar to the Federal Signal Thunderbolt. These were produced until 1973 when a larger rounded horn was made. This was a true exposure hurricane horn. The siren was popular with towns looking for a high input 130 dB siren. Later on, ACA adopted or opted to change, the design of the Hurricane, make it a standout from the Thunderbolt siren, and to also avoid any potential lawsuits over the two similar designs. Aside from that, they decided to correct same design flaws. They were discovered in an original model. These changes to design include a pole-mounted vertical blower. The controller was removed from the blower assembly and housed in its own. Sorry guys, I have trouble reading. And most notably, the horn changed with regular to regular, I think, to circular. The model was dubbed as the Hurricane 130 I don't know, LL, by the company. It was also used as a 30 horsepower blower motor and opposite to the 7.5 horsepower blower motor on the Federal Signal Thunderbolt. The company continued production until 1980 when the Hurricane was replaced by the Penetrator P50 85 horsepower due to 135 DP siren. All versions of the HA Hurricane are very rare, with the square horn being the rarest out of all of them. Most of them have been replaced by newer sirens as it's getting harder to find parts for the Hurricane. And then it lists cities real quick. I don't know if I'll have time with this video because we got some slideshows with a lot of information on it. So like this next one, a war siren being one of my favorite, if not my favorite sirens, the Thunderbolt Tornado Siren 1003. There's several different designs you can call it. I just labeled it Thunderbolt Tornado Siren. Here's a picture of it. I wrote the first half of this and then I decided to copy and paste the rest of it. The Thunderbolt siren was developed between 1959 and 1952. It was first supercharged siren, which uses a supercharger to force air into the rotator, greatly increasing the siren's volume. In the 1980s, when civil defense fell into disuse, thunderbolts across the United States were reposed to nuclear and storm warning siren systems. During the Gulf War, Federal sent a number of modified Thunderbolt 1003s to Kuwait to warn its citizens of an air raid. These were the System 7000 series, and they were only found in Kuwait. I don't know. Later Kuwait sirens were all replaced with Federal siren modulators. One of the System 7000s are known to still exist, and they likely have been scrapped. Eventually, in 1990, the Thunderbolts were discontinued in favor of the new once sat in various towns, and many Thunderbolts and also in private legal possession design edit. The Thunderbolts came in several models. The models were single tone, while the Model 1000T and the Model 1003 are dual tone. The Model 1003 also includes a two-cylinder operated controller of waves. They are used to create alternating steady, alternating well, pulse steady, and pulse well signals, which can be used on the fire warning otherwise. It's identical to the 1000T, but used the 5.6 overbuilt. The last siren went to township in Michigan. However, all of them were removed and replaced around 2009. Originally, the Thunderbolt used a motor and the Albert gear reducer driven by Pirelli to drive the larger spur gear, which makes the projector rotate. The pulleys utilize different belt slots to change the RPM in which the siren rotates from 2, 4, and 8 RPM. In the 80s, Federal wanted to make the Thunderbolt more maintenance-free, doing the motor and gear. Sorry, guys, I'm struggling. Reducer to face other and attached to make it destinal drive system was rotated 4 mpb. This rotator was used in the B model series. And the siren was replaced by the Federal signal modulators. And for this next siren, I went ahead and did the Federal signal modulator siren. Now this one has a lot to read on it, and I want to check real quick to see how much minutes this video is taking up. It's already taken up 8, so I'm gonna have to read this pretty fast because we still got quite a few slideshows to go over. So let me zoom in on the slideshow real quick. I'm gonna try to obviously paste it at still normal speed to where you guys can hear me, but I can only record for 30 minutes on Clipchamp. I still have 22 more minutes, so wrong thing. 300%. Okay. Oh, no, that's not going to work, guys. Sorry. About just 100%. Okay. So here's a picture of the siren. The modulator is composed of speaker cells ranging from 2 to 8, with the exception of 7 that contain 4 speakers driven per cell. Although two models, Model 632 and 648, had additional drivers available, when they're still produced, modulators have an inactive dummy speaker cell at the bottom of the stack that is used to help protect sound and directional deliver the sound of active cells. This would be unbalanced sound, the distraction without an active modulator, and being made. Now, the inactive controller, when they were first made, they were used modular control plus in basic standards modular controls multiple locations. Now, let me try zooming in a little bit here. I'm going to have to for the copy and pasted part of it. Okay, there we go. The modulators in Chicago, this is notable of cities. The modulators in Chicago siren system formerly used to run a notably different and somewhat off-putting alternate well tone during the tornado warnings in order to vary from emergency vehicle sirens must taken for being broken, manufacturers or hacked. Recording the sirens have been uploaded to YouTube with videos reaching millions of views. Many people would refer to modulators as Chicago siren, scary tornado siren hand, due to the nature of the tone. However, in O'Hare National Airport, instead of using the main UV well attack, they use a clip state, possibly sound core during an attack. Before this is a Lancaster chime. The city of Chicago no longer does alternate well mode, possibly due to its popularity, and replaced attack mode in late 2010. The city of Oklahoma is well known for the modulators being placed closely together in comparison to other cities. They are placed only a half mile from each other. In some parts of the city until 2017, some sirens ran in a major dual tone alert. Baytown, Texas. Well, you can read that real quick. Like I said, I'm just trying to hurry up. The modulators in Michigan, and yeah, let's just skip through that. Rest of this, guys, you guys can go through it and read it real quick. I'm not going to read all of it though, just so we can hurry up and get to the next slide. And this is just all of this. It talks about it in South Africa. If you guys have, I'll give you guys a chance to read this one real quick. As you know, there's not much left to it other than it just talking about it. And then I'll give you guys about 10 more seconds to read through it. Here we have all of the United States and towns that use them. As I'm moving my finger to talk about it. Yeah, so that's it for this one. For this one, I decided to add no slide because this one ended up messing up. And this is the SD10. We ended up getting some news on it, but I'm just going to have to skip the slide because look at how much I messed this one up. There was originally supposed to be only 10. So we're going to go to the 7th slide. And here we got the, as soon as it loads, we can get to it. For whatever reason, guys, the 7th slide's not wanting to load. I don't know why, guys. Let me go real quick and just reopen that tab real quick because it's been running a little bit slow. Whew. Okay, slide 7. Okay, there we go. Model 5T tornado siren. That's what the siren looks like. We do not have much to go over at this siren. The Model 5 was a 5 horsepower magnetical omnidirectional siren produced by Federal Siren Corporation. It's essentially the similar version of the Model 7. The rotator is 15 inches in diameter and shares the same stator as the 12-port side of the 2T22 siren. There are two variants of the Model 5. The Model 5, which is 12-port single tone, and the Model 5T, which is a 9/12-port dual tone. The siren was housed in very simple and resemble an air vent found in building roofs. In categories: dual tone siren, other siren, single tone siren. Not much on the siren, guys, but we have a little bit. This next siren we have quite a bit on though. It's the STH-10 siren. Here's a picture of the siren. Let me zoom up a little bit so you guys can see it. The STH-10 siren is the odd directional siren. That means it does not rotate. electromedical. I don't know how to say that word. Well, correct me, guys, on some of these words in the comments, guys. Siren produced by Siren Corporation. Productions began in 1954 and was seized in the early to mid 90s. The SDH-10 was then brought back into mainstream productions about 1998. Around 1998. Around 1998, the Siren was rebooted. However, due to the attempt to use cheaper parts, causing some faults, the Siren was discontinued in 2006 with the new and more efficient Eclipse 8 taking its place. The STH-10 was created an alternative siren from the STL-10, mainly for fire departments or non-civil defense uses. However, some places use it as both as a civil defense siren and fire siren. The STH-10 uses a 12-port chopper and stator, making the same sound and pitch as the 2001 130 siren on Model 5 and 7. The STH siren were going to have a coated damper at one point, but the idea was scrapped after a prototype was made. Alright, on to slide 9. This was a little bit of a dark slide. I think you guys will be able to see it. I'm sorry if you don't. Here's a picture of the Eclipse 8, the siren that replaced the STH-10. Let me drag it down so you guys can see it real quick. There's a picture of it. It's very similar to the STH-10. Very similar. The Eclipse 8 is an automatic direction. I can't say this word, guys. Siren produced by Federal Siren Corporation. The unit is made from aluminum with 8 square projection horns, designed much like a Thunderbolt, but they are a lot smaller and shorter. This unit was made as a directional replacement for the SGH-10 siren in 2006. With a much more efficient DC motor, making it capable of full battery operation. It's an 8-port single-tone siren producing a sound of 500 Hz, joining the legendary Model 2 as a low-tone siren, but it's much louder and capable of siren for covering large areas. On to slide 10. We are almost done, guys. The ACC T28 Tornado siren. Here's a picture of that siren. Company American Signal Corporation produced 1993% type electromagnetic sound input, 129 dBc at 100 feet, frequency 530 Hz, produced by P10 and P15 documents. Product sheet. The T28 is an electromagnetic siren produced by American Signal Corporation. It's one of the 4 sirens in Attempted Sirens line. The siren is widely famous for its low penetrating tone by 8-port rotator. I don't know. Rotator. The design is super effective and is known to be heard miles away, even though it's not rated to do so. The siren was originally developed by Word Communicators of America shortly before their bankruptcy in 1993. The siren was later taken to XL Awarding Communicators by Jim Birch and Dale before they brought American Signal Corporation back from bankruptcy. This is a rare siren, and one of them is by my house. Not my house, that's not what I put. And for the grand finale, the final one, we have a lot on this siren. We have a lot to read on this siren, guys. This might take a little while with most video. I've so far, going back to ClipChamp, recorded 17 minutes. Sorry, guys, I have to go back to ClipChamp to see my minutes on these videos because, like I said, it takes a lot. I can only record for 30 minutes. Okay, so the ATA Order 125 Tornado Siren. Here's a picture of the siren real quick, guys. And let's get into the final one. This is my Google slideshow presentation of my big tornado siren video up to where I made 11 different slides and wrote down about the siren and how it's made and whatever information I could find on the siren. This is my final one. Let me know if I should do any more slides. And without further ado, let's get into it. The Order 125 was a rotational electromagnetic civil defense siren that was produced by Awarding Communicators of America from 1968 until it was replaced by similar penetrating sirens in 1980. The Order was the direct successor to Birch and Almanar's mobile directional sirens with significant improvements to the design. It was equal in that it sucks air through the bottom and intake horn, and then the sound comes out of the top horn of the projector. The Order 125 used a 10 HP motor with a 15 HP, also being offered sound input, was rated at 125 dB at 100 feet. Rather than using metal, ACA used fiberglass construction on these sirens, which greatly improved the siren's longevity and durability, as it prevented collision. The siren was rotated as one large unit, with the siren's motor being connected to a gear reducer that then drove a gear-driven or chain-driven rotator below. The design was Type 1 alternators and easy disguised by an alter. Sorry guys, I can't say those words. If you guys can, let me know in the comments below. Two-piece motor covers that is slower than later models and came standard in both 10, 12, with the chopper and stator being, I don't know why it's doing that, guys. Sorry guys. I'm having technical issues. Two has the transactional period for orders. They maintain the short horn design, but on the inside it's exactly identical to Gen 3. This is also the time where the ACA made a better 912 port rotator design along with the newer chain-driven systems. This version only came in a 912 port and one of the rare rotators defined. They can be told apart from Type 1s, being the motor cover top horn and chain at the bottom. Type 3. The third generation of rotators came out in 1972. This is when the siren received the design it's most known for as 812, which dropped as an optional weave 912 dual tone. As the only option, the rotator and the insulator were redesigned to a directional, which improves sound input greatly when the siren is wired in the right direction. This intake was greatly enhanced in order to prevent snow and debris from getting into the projector. The gear-driven rotator was dropped into in the favor of a chain-driven rotator, and the motor cover, which redesigned to a shorter and one piece. The design is designed to prevent snow and debris from getting into. I already read that. Sorry, I already read that. The design decision forced ACA to add an indent into the projector to allow it to fit into the rotator plate. This design would be used in any way until the siren's discontinuation in 1980. Something to note about Type 1 and Type 2 orders in the 912 rotators, and all of them are very similar to Federal Siren SDH10. So reverse wiring doesn't affect them. However, the new 812 rotor, or however you say that, rotor, was the first of ACA sirens used to a directional rotor. So I don't know how you say that. I don't know if it's rotator or rotor. So wiring it backwards harms sound input. The same applies to 912 rotor and the post 1972 rotors, which are on the directional in 1980. The rotor was redesigned to the penetrator in 10 to 15, which replaced a giant projector with a simple horn and intake, which reduced cost and get rid of the order's problem. The order was solid alongside the P10 in a short time before it finally discontinued in favor of the P10 P15. For the final slide, guys, towns with the ACA order, and then we're going to get over with this video real quick. So let me zoom in 200% to the towns with the ACA order. Evansville, Ohio, Bloomfield, New York, Blue Eye, Missouri, Haver, Missouri. And here are all the towns, guys, of all the sirens. Real quick, let me get a good zoom up, zoom down. I decided to do this. Like I said, there's quite a few towns that have these sirens. As you guys can quickly go see, guys. We got some in Oklahoma. We got some in Kansas. We got a few in Kansas, guys. So let me go through one more time just to make sure you guys got all of them, guys. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried my best to read all of them and show all these sirens. I know I struggled quite a bit. I struggled with reading words and knowing the words, guys. But I'm trying to get better with all of that, guys. And guys, this is my tornado siren big map video that I've been telling you guys I've been doing. That was supposed to come out last week. Let me know if I should do a part 2 slideshow of 12 different sirens from these sirens. I think I can do it, guys. Or just like a 5-part slideshow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. More videos on sirens coming out in the future. Let me click on all these sirens one more time just to recap what we went through and how much I read. I did not read this one. This was only supposed to be a 10 slideshow. I messed this one up. I couldn't get it unfixed, so here is this one. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me reading all of these sirens and going through all of these sirens, guys. So please like, comment, and subscribe. This is one of my longer videos today. And yeah, guys, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.